The idea that business may have responsibilities under human rights law has been long contested. Some governments maintain that only states should have duties under international law, where others held that if corporations have the power to abuse human rights around the world, they should also have the corresponding responsibility to respect rights. That debate has finally been settled with the adoption of the UN Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights in 2011. The UNGPs, unanimously endorsed by the UN Human Rights Council in 2011, clarify that the responsibility to respect human rights is a baseline expectation for all businesses, not a do-good or optional activity. Moreover, this responsibility is to be implemented independently of what governments are doing or not doing on human rights. That means that businesses should demonstrate respect for human rights, even though national legislation is not aligned or falls short on international human rights frameworks. In other words, companies cannot simply say that they are not paying workers decent wages because national law doesn't require them to do so, or that they must submit personal data about political dissidents to governments when it's a known fact that governments will put their life and liberties at risk. And since 2011, many corporations have embedded human rights into their policies and risk management systems. The latter is known as human rights due diligence, an ongoing process to identify and address negative impacts on workers, communities, and consumers in companies' own operations and value chains. Some governments, such as Germany or France, have passed laws that makes it mandatory for companies to undertake human rights due diligence. For many companies, respecting human rights is not just the right thing to do, it is also good business. Companies that ignore human rights risks like child labor, environmental pollution, or unsafe working conditions face reputational damage, legal liability, consumer distrust, and investor scrutiny. On the other hand, companies that proactively embed human rights build trust, sound-like management systems, and long-term value. So the responsibility to respect human rights, it is also the business of business. And this has been recognized by governments and responsible businesses alike. And in today's world, they are a strategic advantage.